This is Soundoff60, Southwest Louisiana's premier sports show.
Coaching staff was just like, you need to go through the same routine you were going through in the minor leagues. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
Our skipper actually moved me up to the 2-hole in the order in the middle of that and said, hey, you're our guy, you're going to play, and we believe in you. And then got a few hits, started believing in myself.
Julio's coming back. Oh, forget it. The game's over. Forget it. The game's over. Oh, Julio.
Soundoff60 is presented by Jack Daniel's Bar and Grill at LaBerge Casino Resort. Here are the guys, Rick, Scooter, and Kevin.
I would call it good old smash mouth football over the weekend, gentlemen. It was fun, and we're going to dig into it over the next 60 minutes right here from Jack Daniel's at LaBerge Casino. Want to welcome Jim Gazzola from on Southwest Louisiana Sports on Channel 17 CBS, Southwest Louisiana. What kind of intro is that? I'm running out of breath. It's long enough.
I missed the sports senator.
The sports senator. We gave him a new nickname the last time he was here. Filling in for you, the sports senator. He's filling in for Kevin Guidry tonight, who's on the IR this week. Scooter Hobbs right here, Rick Serro. We got an hour of what we call Soundoff60. Your show is like this long. We keep it short.
Trying to get it shorter, believe me.
Trying to get it short. Yeah. All right, Jim, we appreciate you coming in. Did I label it right? Smash mouth football
Strange
at Cowboy
weekend.
Stadium and in Tuscaloosa. I mean, it was hard-fought football.
Definitely, and almost smash mouth football after the game in the Superdome.
Yes.
Did you see, that was one of the more interesting post-game, I don't know if you could even call it a handshake. It was more like a brush block.
Encounters.
Yeah.
It was a brush block.
Gone. Yeah, Dirk
Sean
Coder
Payton,
from Tampa
I
Bay.
don't know, you know, obviously there was some stuff going on during the game, but I'm wondering there had to be something going on between Peyton and Cartner.
I don't know their history.
There can't be much of a history. Cutter's only been there, this is his second year.
Second year. I mean, he's been around the NFL,
Yeah.
obviously, but
I don't know if it was just the during the game stuff, because Peyton was glaring across.
Oh,
the
he-
field.
He took offense to the cheap shot by Evans.
And he should.
Well, he
And he
should.
should.
And
That
well,
was
he
one
should.
of- and Evans today was suspended for a game.
Good.
Which should come as
Good.
no surprise.
Which is an interesting thing in the NFL because A.J. Green did not get suspended.
Yeah,
And he
well,
threw 5 or 6 punches.
yeah, but
Interesting. Yeah.
But he got kicked out. One got kicked out, one
And that's
didn't.
a bad look. I will grant you that. But what Evans did, I mean, that was seriously dangerous.
Yeah.
How did he not get kicked out?
I have no clue.
Yeah, I'm
No clue.
wondering, you know, can they go to, maybe nobody saw how bad it was, can they go to videotape?
They said at the time of the game, they said
But I
they
mean,
could not.
you've
Cannot.
got a
Cannot go to
guy
videotape.
sitting there basically, I won't say relaxed, but not expecting any
No.
kind. I mean, why is a clip illegal?
Yeah.
I mean, that could have been serious whiplash.
And the final point in the first segment, because we'll talk more about the Saints' win over the Bucs, is obviously Sean Payton knows the importance of Marshawn Lattimore and how his secondary
hell
is starting
yeah.
to come around.
Can you imagine if he had hurt him?
Holy smokes, that's a
You
huge
have to
help.
protect your player at all
Oh,
times
and
at that
as
point.
well.
But
And-
he could have been just as upset with the officials for letting him
Oh,
sit
I
in the
agree.
game because that was the moment. To me, that's what's confusing about the NFL. One guy gets suspended but not kicked out. One guy gets kicked out but not suspended.
All right, we're getting ahead of ourselves a little bit, but we've covered some of the Saints stuff. Big win, number 6 in a row for the New Orleans Saints. LSU at Alabama, I said it for the last 2 weeks. I thought they had a puncher's chance, and I think that's the way it turned out. 4 or 5 plays for LSU, maybe 3 could have gone their way. It could have been nip and tuck, guys. And I'm not overstating it.
You're not, because they played a lot more even at the line of scrimmage with Alabama than I thought they would. Don't get too big into the what-if game. You can do that with any game.
That's what we do here.
Mostly some long passes LSU could have connected on. Alabama had some too.
Yes.
Okay? You know.
They have a puncher's chance, but they didn't have a thrower's chance. He does not throw the deep ball enough. And that's been their
Well,
issue
they
for
threw
last
it.
year.
They threw it. I thought plenty. I mean, that was their game plan going in. They thought they could beat Alabama's cornerbacks, and to a degree they did. Just didn't connect. I mean, you know, I'll give you that. But I'll give LSU credit.
Before I forget, I have to give Guidry his time. He texted, he called me. He says, you have to say this, okay? So here it is, Bone.
What I know what's coming.
Yeah, Miles Brennan needed to play, should start the rest of the year. I'm thinking, what game is Kevin Guidry watching? He looked like we'll get into it when we talk about LSU. I didn't know
knew
why.
that was coming.
I don't know why Ed Orgeron or whoever pulled Danny Etling again. Danny Etling missed Darius Geis on a touchdown in the flat.
It didn't matter about that.
I disagree, Hobbs, but okay, so you're going to miss a guy. I mean, and yeah, he threw 2 balls kind of off that were short. The long one, the chalk was short. Guidry saying Alabama lost 4 starters and LSU still wasn't in the game. I'm thinking, what game is he watching?
Did Guidry notice that Drew Brees missed somebody more wide open than anybody LSU had?
In the world of football, yeah.
Did he want to replace Drew Brees?
Yeah, good point.
Okay.
Did you hear that, Guidry? Okay.
But what you do ask the question, though, is what's the future, and do you bring him in for the future now?
Well, he answered that today. The one thing he did do by putting Brennan in there at the end of the game, I was at the press luncheon in Baton Rouge this morning. I give you 2 guesses what the first question he got was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he was adamant that Etling is still his starter. I've got the story I've got for tomorrow. Might see Brennan, might not. It's not off the table, but they're not going to play him just to get ready for next year, which I agree
glad to hear
with
that.
100%. I just, it's not fair to your seniors. I don't care.
I agree.
What fans say.
I agree with you on that. I disagree with you earlier, and I'll save that for the LSU segment in regards to Miles Brennan and stuff like that. Let's move to the Cowboys. All right, they win in a defensive slugfest over Southeastern.
That is not the game, and I did see some highlights. Mm-hmm. Obviously didn't see the game. I was in Tuscaloosa. That was not the game I was expecting.
No.
No, not at all.
No, I mean, Southeastern averaging close to 300 yards or over rushing. Granted, McNeese's strength is stopping the run. The quarterback is mobile. I figured it would be in the 20s, maybe the upper 20s for both teams.
Has been the last few years.
Yeah.
Weather was perfect.
But how many turnovers did McNeese force? I mean, the highlights, I swear I saw 5 or 6.
Let's see. A pick late and 1 fumble. Not a whole lot.
Oh, okay.
No,
okay.
not a whole lot.
No.
And the pick came late with Southeastern trying to go into late. All right. The question we'll get into later on in the show, and in the post game, I had to pose it to Guidry, Lance Guidry, was the proverbial media question. If you went out, do you start making the case, him personally, we need to be there, we're worthy, we should be there? I'm talking about the playoffs. And of course, Lance took the high road. It's not his part. That is for the AD, Bruce Hemphill, and the president to make their case.
Well, yeah,
Do they have?
He should say yes, we do.
But he says I'm just a football coach. I'm paid to win football. Well,
I mean, of course
if you're
make
not,
that.
if you're not going to
I
rally
mean,
for your
good
team,
luck.
who is?
Good luck having any success.
are you saying that Lance Guidry can't stand at a podium after you just win a tough game over Southeastern and say, FCS guys, yeah, you need to look at us at the end of the year if we run the table and go 9-2?
I would think he should do that. I think he should.
But he says it's not his role.
I think it is.
I disagree with that. I think he can. I don't think he should be cheerleading, but he has to focus on winning football games.
I think he should just simply say, I think we're worthy if we win out.
Okay.
But I'm worried about the next game.
Are they?
That's fair.
Are they? At this point. Quick response.
Well,
do they have a case? Do they have a leg to stand on?
That's where you get into a lot of what else happens in the next 2 weeks.
If Southeastern beats Nichols, which is possible, okay, McNeese might have a roundabout shot at it. I really do.
You're not getting 4 in.
Well, then they don't have a shot.
Well,
No,
if
they don't.
can finish third, if Nichols finishes behind them,
Yeah,
they would finish third.
But then you get into that question. They have to finish obviously behind McNeese. All right,
Well,
we're going to hold that thought.
That wasn't your question.
I know that, but hold that thought. We're going to get into it. But when we come back, we got the Saints to talk about. We got college football and around the NFL.
Hey,
and yes.
Don't forget the Astros.
Yeah, that's right. There's a number of things that happened while we were gone. The Astros win the World Series and a whole lot more. Gazzola is here. Hobbs, Cerro for the next about 50 so minutes or so. Hang with us. We're coming back in 2 to Jack Daniels here at LaBerge Casino. Stay right there.
Soundoff60 is presented by Jack Daniels Bar and Grill at LaBerge Casino Resort.
In 1975, we brewed the original light beer with more taste and only 96 calories. We think that's worth celebrating. Miller Lite, back in the original bottle.
The 2018 Toyota Camry is here, and it is a remarkable product. So remarkable, in fact, we're going to do something a little different with this commercial. We're just going to spend the rest of this 30 seconds showing you this car. So if you're one of those people that's always said, yeah, the Camry's not really the car for me, you might be exactly who this car is for. Come see it today at Lake Charles Toyota.
All right, welcome back to Jack Daniels at LaBerge Casino. We always want to remind you about this time in the show about country music nights on the weekends, Friday and Saturday here at Jack Daniels. This Friday, it's Midnight River Choir, and Saturday night, it's the Honky Tonk Special. You can't get more country than the Honky Tonk Special. On the big stage here at Jack Daniels, Friday and Saturday nights, starting about 10 o'clock, good country music right here. All right, let's get back to it, and let's go Alabama and LSU. 24-10 was the final score. The freshman-laden offensive line did well.
They
did well.
If you
okay?
had told me
and
they
that
were,
was the battle.
They were going to match up as evenly, I won't say they beat
No.
Alabama up front, but it matched up fairly even, won some, lost some. I don't know if I'd have told you they would have won, but I would have thought they would have scored more than 10 points.
Yeah.
You know, they had 300 yards. You ought to get more than that. Now, you know, and I mentioned it more in my story than I have in years. I tell you a big factor in that game. Alabama had the best punter I've seen in a while.
Gosh.
I don't know if it showed up on TV.
Oh, it showed up big time. Oh, big time.
But I mean, I'm watching this guy all night, and I was shocked. I mean, Auburn has the best place kicker. Alabama has the best punter I've seen in a while. Both of them, to me, are worthy of NFL draft picks.
Oh, no doubt.
Which doesn't happen all
Not often at all.
But
That punter was excellent.
Worthy, but I mean, that guy just kept LSU back. And of course, they didn't. You know, LSU needed a turnover or two.
Yes.
They needed a long punt return, which they got. Had a
I want to
silly
talk about
penalty,
that.
Had a silly penalty on it.
Jim,
And
the penalty, it was first half, was it not? Yeah,
believe
I think it
first
was.
half, yeah.
It would have put the ball, the punt return, on Alabama's 38, 40-yard line.
37, 38.
And it
somewhere
moved
in
it
there.
all the way back to maybe the 12 or 13.
But they've done this during the year. They've had those kind of mistakes. This one was a big one at the time.
Yeah.
when
It's
they had a chance to get
Alabama
back in the game.
on
You
the
can't
road.
Do that there.
That's kind of like a turnover.
No, you can't do that there.
That's kind of like
Well, it
almost
was a
worthy of a
turnover.
turnover for LSU, and that was, man, that was huge. I mean, it's a possible driving. Maybe
you're
they
in the
get a
game. You're in
field
the
goal
game.
out
Even
of
if
it.
you get a field goal, you're only down 14-6.
Man, that was huge.
That's
All right.
one drive.
Again, I mentioned, in my opinion, the 3 to 4 plays, the chalk pass. The chalk pass that was thrown a little short that he had to stop on,
To me,
and
Charles
he had
should have
it,
caught that
and he had it in his
Should have
hands.
caught it.
That was a 40 to 45-yard gain.
I didn't put that one on Etling. I put that one.
I
on
agree.
I'm sure Guidry put it on Etling.
Oh, everything is on
should've-
Danny Etling, and
It
of
should've
course,
it should have been caught, but it could have been a touchdown had he gone in front of him.
Yeah.
So,
and of course, the pick by Etling, mistake early.
Yeah.
You can't make that, and it
Yeah.
set up an Alabama touchdown. All right. So, did Danny Etling, in ratio, lose this game for LSU?
Oh,
As some
Well,
would,
he didn't
as
go out
some
and-
would, not just Kevin
you could say,
Guidry
you
now.
could say that, but you could always say that about a quarterback because
You
they're the
could.
ones with the ball in the hands.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, there was never a time in the game where you thought LSU's going to win this game, was there? Whether you thought they're going to take control of this game, you thought they were going to win the game.
I thought they could get it close. I thought they
did
could
you
get
ever
it
think they were
closer
gonna
Well,
win
the
within
key
a
play-
score. Within
the
a score.
key that really,
Within one score.
The play that really, to me, made it such an uphill, struggle. More so than how evenly they were matching up was the interception.
Yes.
I'll say that.
Yes.
But I mean, any game is like that.
Yes.
Drew Brees throws interceptions.
Yes.
A college kid does it, and people want him run out of the state. I do not
The
understand.
biggest
against
difference
Alabama.
between the two teams is Alabama's quarterback could improvise with some runs
Yes.
yeah.
and make plays happen outside the pocket.
Yes.
Etling really couldn't do that.
Yeah, I agree with
And
you.
that's-
you knew that going
Yeah.
in.
Yeah. Jalen Hurts and his improved play, his improved
I'll tell you
ability to throw the ball
another-
was a huge factor for
I will
Alabama's
tell
win.
you another very key play. I forget. I think one of them was Arden Key. I don't know who else was back, but Alabama was just starting to drive.
Yeah.
They had him dead to rights
Dead to
for
rights.
a 15-yard loss back around the 5-yard line. He escaped. I think he scrambled for the first down. But anyway,
for more.
That turned into a scoring
It did.
drive when even with that punter, LSU because it was a third down play.
Yes.
They had him
You're
dead
right.
to right.
Yeah, and that would have been a long punt for a very good punter.
Yeah.
And LSU, they would have flipped the field.
Yeah.
But
And they
that's-
didn't. That's a good
That's
good
all
point.
of football, though.
Exactly. That's what I
it's a
keep
third.
saying.
It's a third down play that extends a drive. It's a third down penalty that kills
Yeah.
a drive. You can, especially early in the game, you can always argue, well, it could be 10-7 instead of 7-3, and so.
But gentlemen,
you have to overcome that.
this is Alabama. It's on the road. Every play like
Well, it
that
shows-
is magnified.
But it shows
it's
that
magnified.
between the two teams, they
because
don't have the
LSU
margin-
is
they don't
so
have the
far
margin
behind
for error.
Alabama. What's that?
Well, exactly.
LSU
He's
does
right.
not have the margin for error.
There you go.
That Alabama does.
There you
I
go.
mean, everybody wants.
We know that.
Everybody.
You don't lose the
and
try.
coaches are as guilty of it as fans are, but everybody has in their mind that these kids are gonna, or pros even, are gonna play this perfect game someday.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen.
No.
Football is not about eliminating mistakes. It's about overcoming. them.
Overcoming.
Yeah.
I've said
I
that for
agree with that.
years.
I'm with you
You're
on that.
not gonna eliminate all of them.
I'm with
okay?
you on that.
And when the difference in talent is greater, then the margin for error is less.
Yes, yes.
And that's what you have.
All right, so they team up. LSU does for what? About 153 yards rushing. Darius Geitz gets 71.
Yeah.
And I thought he might get 80. He gets 71. Good effort. Now, granted, offensive line, maybe some of Matt Canada's scheme, which, hey, they brought the Wildcat out. I liked it. He did. He put a ran. Now, he ran that jet sweep. And it didn't do.
They didn't get a lot out of the jet sweep.
But he kept plugging at it, didn't he?
I think the jet sweep played a big factor because it did keep them off balance.
It spreads them.
Even
Yep.
when they didn't run it, but showed it.
Yeah.
I think it was a big factor.
Yeah.
In opening up some other.
I agree.
things.
I agree.
One funny story. I thought it was. You remember when they ran the Wildcat with Darrell Williams and he had the 52-yard
Yeah.
run, I think, down the goal line? Saban, after the game, said Alabama sent the checks in, the defensive check, said half the guys got the check, half the guys didn't, and that opened it up for this 52-yard run. But the funny thing he said to me was, he said, that was the worst thing that could happen. He said, if everybody had gotten the check right, we'd have been okay. If everybody had missed the check, we would have been okay. But with half of them getting it and half of them not, it opened up like the Red Sea.
Interesting. How close is LSU now? I mean, what was your quote from Ed Orgeron? We're coming, meaning we're gaining ground on them a little. How close or how far still?
I don't know. That's tough.
Is it
Not as
quarterback?
far as I thought they
is it the
were.
elusive quarterback? Is that the missing link?
one
That
spot,
was the
but there's a
least of
lot.
their problems.
There's depth.
The
Depth is a big
one
deal.
problem, and if you look back over the last few years, the way to really beat Alabama is with a mobile dual threat quarterback.
Yeah.
And I don't see that on the horizon. Miles Brennan is going to
not.
be LSU's quarterback. He's straight drop back.
Yeah.
And so you started a little bit of a disadvantage. LSU has had and can recruit the kind of players to go a little more head-to-head with Alabama than most can. They're a little thin. I mean, like I wrote this morning, this was about as thin as they're going to be in the defensive line, as inexperienced they're going to be in the offensive line. And to get almost a draw in the trenches with them, that was pretty impressive. I give those two coordinators
a good effort.
But you got to ask, it's Georgia now past LSU by a lot?
This year, for sure.
Yeah.
I think.
And I think the recruiting season will tell where they actually stand.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on to that. I'm going to get to the Miles Brennan question later on in the show because I'm still miffed and confused. I just don't know what Orgeron's doing with Miles Brennan and why. I disagree with you, Hobbs, in regards to when he came in, but we'll get into that later. All right, coming up next, we'll get into the Cowboys and the Southeastern Lions and where does McNeese go from here and trying to win out, and then the games and how they won the whole thing. Good comments by Lance Guidry. Some emotion. He got into some emotions after the game, which I did not expect. We'll get into that and a whole lot more. We got Saints coming up. We got Astros coming up, and a whole lot more. Stay right here. We're coming back to Jack Daniels.
Soundoff60 is presented by Jack Daniels Bar and Grill at L'Auberge Casino Resort. Check us out online at soundoff60tv.com.
On or off the field, training and experience matter. As a board-certified and fellowship-trained surgeon, Dr. Brett Cassio has the training and experience to help you get back in the game. Award-winning research, the latest orthopedic techniques, right here at home. Cassio Sports Medicine.
Are you trying to stay cool with a temporary fix? There's a smarter solution. Save on your monthly energy costs while enjoying quiet and consistent comfort this summer with a highly efficient air conditioning system from Luxair. We'll recommend a system that is perfectly suited to your home and provides optimal cooling, exceptional energy savings, and lasting performance. Get connected with a Luxair dealer near you by visiting luxair.com/solarsupply.
All right, 13-3 was the final at the whole Cowboys Stadium Saturday night. Cowboys taking down the Southeastern Lions in a key pivotal matchup, really for both teams. Not so much for Southeastern in a playoff hope, but the Cowboys still clinging. Nichols wins over Houston Baptist, with a last play desperation 44-yard touchdown to win the game. Guys, Let's go. Let's work backwards to forward, if you will. Again, the loss in Thibodeau. First game out of the gate. And now it's coming back to continue
I
the
don't know. I watched
They
that
had.
game. No, they didn't have that game. For most of the game, they dominated.
Dominated.
that game.
Dominated.
And did not win.
Until some breakdowns
but you know
and
what?
plays.
That was, seems like 4 years
I know
ago
it does.
now.
It does.
Why are we talking about that?
Because now it comes back to continue to haunt the Cowboys.
Okay,
They
so
beat
what are we
Nichols.
gonna do about it?
Oh, well, you got to win out. All right, you got to win out, and you hope
need
for other
Nichols to
teams to
lose.
be. Yeah, you
Yeah.
hope that and again,
Unless you think
heave.
they're going to take 4 from the Southland. And does the Southland really deserve 4?
I'm not qualified.
I'm not qualified. I'd have to
What
look
I
at all
would
the other.
say is,
What is it?
let's let-
11? They take 11 conference champions.
Yes.
And
Of 24.
13-ish. 13. It's
Yeah,
2014. 13 at large.
13 at large.
Yeah.
Your problem
I
is
am-
what did McNeese do? They did not. Their 2 losses. None of them are to an FCS school or an FBS school. I'm sorry.
Right.
So they don't get the benefit of the doubt
Yeah,
that
they don't
Nichols
get
gets
the-
for losing to A&M
Yeah.
and that. So that's
And most of them will have at least
Yeah.
one,
Yeah.
FBS.
so they don't get that. They didn't play. They don't get a bonus game then,
Mm-hmm.
in my opinion. So what do
Yeah.
they get? They're down to whatever they did in the conference, and right now they're in 4th place in the conference.
Yeah. Yeah. You mentioned in the opening of the show, if somehow Nichols drops below them,
Blow them.
and then they can negate the head-to-head,
Yeah.
negate that the fact that the Colonels beat the Cowboys because now the Cowboys
They have
finished
a better record,
maybe.
and they're playing better at the end.
Okay.
That helps.
Yeah.
Do you give it credence if you're FCS selection committee? Does you give it that? I mean, first off, does the Southland deserve 3?
Yeah,
I say
think you
yeah.
would.
I'm biased, but I think
really, they shouldn't really consider conference. I mean, it shouldn't matter. Now, the head-to-head would matter.
yes.
But it shouldn't really matter who finishes where. You take the whole body of work, your non-conference.
Right.
McNeese doesn't have a real good non-conference schedule.
Florida Tech.
Didn't play Sam Houston this year.
Yeah.
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 So what do you have? You have Florida Tech. Is that enough to fly a playoff flag for?
It's hard. It's going to be hard. I'm not throwing it completely out.
Look,
You know, I'm not throwing it completely out. Some
Even
things
it's
have to
not up
happen.
to them. It's
Instead
not in their
of
hands.
No, it's not in
playing
there.
Florida Tech, if this was one of those years like the year McNeese put the scare in Nebraska,
Yes.
or the year they put the scare in A&M,
Right. Right.
I mean, I think that would
I'm-
weigh more heavily.
with you.
with the
Even a win at
committee.
Middle
I'm with
Ten-
you.
They beat Middle Tennessee State the
Yeah,
one year.
I'm with you.
They-
I'm with you.
One in Florida the one year.
How much? I mean, again, I look at the fact that this defense, granted, based on the schedule, is one of the best when it comes to stopping the run. And overall, how much do you look at that? This is Southeastern now, was in the top 3 in the nation in rushing. Okay, and McNeese holds them to 77 yards.
That was.
Well,
I mean,
yeah,
that's
it's
got to
impressive.
weigh
That's
something.
impressive.
After Central
impressive.
Arkansas, I did not see that.
I didn't either. And
Because,
credit
I mean,
Guidry
this
and his
was-
staff for getting
this
them ready.
was not like you could say, oh, they were looking past Central. You don't look past Central
No.
Arkansas. That's your game of the year.
Game of the year.
I mean, if you're ever going to play, that's when you'll play, and they didn't.
Game of
And
the
yet-
year.
And yet they shut down
And
Southeastern
the
like
defense will give them some credence into the playoffs as much as anything else.
Right.
But it still comes down to, at this point in time, is that they're the fourth if they're going to get 4.
Yeah.
And I don't see 4 going from
I
the
don't
Southland
either.
just yet.
I don't either. And then
3 maybe.
yeah, and you look at it. Maybe the average fan will see in the American press the FCS coaches and media poll, and they'll see maybe McNeese say 17 or 18. Well, if you're in the top 20, why don't you make the playoffs if they take 24? I mean, an average fan will say, outside of the 11 conference champs,
That's why
and they
fans
do the
don't-
math.
That's why fans don't vote.
I know. all right, Gazzola.
Well, but think
I'm
about
just
it.
saying.
I mean, I'm
you know.
just playing devil's advocate for you. I mean, how much do the say the FBS? I always have to think. Gosh, I hate
Yeah, we got alphabet soup
getting
going
rid
on
of
here.
one double A.
Yeah.
How much does the playoff rankings resemble the AP top 25?
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Not a
Yeah,
whole lot.
Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. Surprised me a little bit after the game against Southeastern. Lance Guidry made a comment. We didn't press him on it. He wanted to get it out. It was redemption was mostly from him over the 2016 loss, not so much the players, because it was the last game that his late brother saw him coach before his late brother last year passed away prior to the Central Arkansas game, which they lost 35-0. So this was an emotional game for Lance Guidry. And because, well, right when he walked into postgame, and he was yelling and joking and just went off on a kind of a funny little tirade, and it was an emotional game, and you could tell. And this guy has been through a lot, even this year, with a loss to Nicholls State, and trying to get this team worthy of postseason again has not been easy, especially with the defensive shortfalls that they had evident with Central Arkansas and the breakdown.
No, he is all about McNeese.
Yeah.
So this is his baby.
Yeah.
So I think that he takes everything personally. The loss last year in Hammond, I think he took personally on the last, what was it, the long bomb play that they were in the wrong defense for. I think he took that personally.
Yep.
You take that with his brother situation and everything. I can see it being emotional for him.
Very.
Plus, this was a statement game for them because really they haven't had many games against tough opponents.
Yeah.
And they could have easily, after Central Arkansas, packed it in.
Yep.
And for him to win a defensive battle, which is what he loves,
Yes.
I think choked him up.
Communication, defensive secondary communication. I heard from, and we'll get into it in the next segment with the Saints, a lot of their maturation defensively is coming from better communication. The Cowboys have had no communication when they gave away all these chunk plays, and then they went through a series of communicating well. Central Arkansas, breakdown, breakdown, breakdown. And you saw it happen. This game, communication. Dominique Hill, Defensive Player of the Week in the Southland Conference. You saw what he did. How does that go from one week to another, guys? You have communication, you don't have communication.
Well, you're a
you have
different
it, you
team
don't.
every week.
You're a different
always
team.
a different
Yeah,
every week.
yeah. It's crazy.
You didn't have an 8.5-hour bus drive.
Yeah, really. Another good point. All right, so as we wrap up, I'm giving them. I use that phrase again. I give the Cowboys a puncher's chance to maybe get into postseason.
Okay.
Depending
I'm
on
totally-
not throwing it completely out
No,
wouldn't
they're
get
still
my hopes
alive,
up.
but they're not. Yeah,
by a thin thread.
it's up to somebody else.
Yeah,
Yeah, they need a lot of
yeah.
help.
Southeastern's got to be
Number
nickel
one,
state. They
Go
got
ahead and win these 2 games and let's talk about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I'll tell you, the McNeese punter, Alex Jelson, maybe had the play of the game besides David Ham's
Oh,
run.
I saw that highlight. That was one of the most incredible punts I've ever seen.
It was amazing. It was one of the highest snaps ever in college football, or
Yeah.
at Cowboys. It sailed at least 15 feet over his head, and he caught it maybe on 2 bounces, and he did the rugby kick. And got a great kick out of it.
Good kick out of it.
20, however many years ago it was, Kerry Jones
Oh, yeah.
did something similar.
Yeah.
One of the great punts
80 yards,
in the
something like
history
that?
of college football. He ran
Yeah.
back there and kicked it like 80 yards.
Yeah, unbelievable. All right, let's spend a couple of seconds on, and I don't want to push it back in the show. Attendance is sagging at Cowboy Diamond. You've written about it. We've talked about it. This is a troubling trend, gentlemen.
Yeah.
It was homecoming was underattended, and this game right here was sparse.
Well, this is a 4 or 5 year.
Yes.
Why are you gonna go to McNeese? Let's be realistic. Alabama, LSU.
Well, that didn't
You've got
help.
you've
No, it
got
didn't. We're getting to
4 or
that in a minute.
5 national championship games on that day
Yes.
that have national championship implications.
Yes.
You could sit in your home for free. Why are you going to go watch a lower level if you don't have personal interest? It's a hard sell.
But it's a good game. It's a good matchup. McNeese and Southeastern.
That's
A
great.
lot of subplots.
It is.
That's
A lot of
great.
I mean,
subplots.
if that game can't get a quorum, you do have
It didn't
problems.
help that it was on Cox.
And I don't know
Live.
what the answer is.
Well,
I don't know what the answer is because this is just not a McNeese problem.
No.
And,
No.
and a lot of it is the saturation of football.
Oh,
on
no
This
doubt.
is an NFL problem.
I
This
mean,
is
doubt.
yeah,
No doubt, yes.
People say, well, why do they try to go head to head with LSU? Why don't they
Hmm?
move? I don't know if it would help
Yeah,
much.
I don't think it would help
Because
as much as
any
people
hour of the day, there's 500 games
Yeah.
on.
And they
that
all
you
have
can sit
national
home
cha-
and watch.
they all have national championship implications.
It hurts LSU's attendance. Even LSU does not. They're still selling the tickets,
Yeah,
but a lot of them are going unused
They're not
unless
used.
it's Alabama or
You're right.
Auburn. And
When-
even the Auburn game didn't draw them.
when does Bruce Hemphill and Darrell Burkell, new president, press a panic button and possibly go to a 2 o'clock or 2:30 kickoff when they have to compete against such a mega matchup like LSU?
I don't think they will.
You don't think so? I think they need to
I
try
think
it.
the- I
I
think
think
the
they need to
panic
try.
I think it's worth talking about.
At least, yeah. I think they need to try it.
Particularly if you think about it. I haven't been to a game this year. I haven't had the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been at the LSU games. But last year, the last few years when I have been there, McNeese still has damn near SEC quality tailgate.
Not anymore.
And I get what
Not anymore, Scooter.
But
Not anymore.
Think about it. If you
No.
did, at least try to avoid the LSU game. You know, LSU's played at night, you play in the day,
Right.
and then go
Rick,
tailgate afterwards.
let's be
and watch the
realistic.
game.
What?
They hadn't played in a playoff game in years. They
Yes.
got a playoff game at home. They were undefeated against
Yes.
Jacksonville State.
Yes.
They drew less than 5,000 people.
Yes. Cold night, but
Oh, I
go
would
ahead.
Really?
Remember that.
It was 40 degrees. Is that really a cold
well,
Well,
night?
you're
In-
from Chicago.
in
That's-
South Louisiana,
that's
it's cold
cold
night.
down here. Maybe not in Chicago, but down here,
But
they're lucky the roads were open.
I'm with you. I know
That's
where you're
true.
going.
But everybody was clamoring about the game, about not being a
I
playoff
know.
team. One thing that has to be addressed by McNeese and everybody else in this town is no longer saturated by people who've been here forever.
I know.
No, that's
And they're
true.
coming
right.
from other places.
You're
and
right.
when I was at the press,
Yes.
And they would never believe me. I heard from people in Houston that wanted Texas sports.
Yes.
I heard from people that were coming from other areas that wanted more sports.
Oh, sure.
They did not want the local sports. They just wanted more sports included.
Yes.
And that's the market you're facing, is a more diverse market.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
you're
it's
right.
it's
It's getting
a
more
sagging
diverse
attendance,
all the
time.
and it should be on the radar of the McNeese athletic officials and Darrell Burkell. They have to start talking about something, and because it's a trend. It is a trend, and it's a negative trend. Hold that thought. We're beating up against that clock. When we come back, it's Saints and Bucks around the NFL. Stay right there. We're coming right back.
Sound Off 60 is brought to you by Jack Daniels Bar and Grill at LaBerge Casino Resort. The boys in the box will be right back.
This is the original light beer, brewed with the belief that a beer could be light and not compromise on taste, to be enjoyed from opener to headliner. Miller Lite. Hold true.
Are you trying to stay cool with a temporary fix? There's a smarter solution. Save on your monthly energy costs while enjoying quiet and consistent comfort this summer with a highly efficient air conditioning system from Luxair. We'll recommend a system that is perfectly suited to your home and provides optimal cooling, exceptional energy savings, and lasting performance. Get connected with a Luxair dealer near you by visiting luxair.com/solarsupply.
Only one light beer has more taste, less calories, and half the carbs. This one. Miller Lite. Hold true.
All right, welcome back to Jack Daniels at LaBerge Casino. We've covered LSU, McNeese, and bounced around a little bit. We got the Astros coming up, and also around college football, because we had some upsets more over the weekend. Let's get into the NFL and the New Orleans Saints. Impressive, gentlemen. Impressive, exceptional play by this defense, and they're I just feel they're going to continue to get better because of that secondary communication. They're getting a bit of a rush, and they're stopping the run. I'm feeling good, guys.
I can't argue with you.
am.
My biggest takeaway from that game, and I was on the road, but I did pull over and watch the last 3 quarters. When I think about where this team started, I say the same thing, 0-2. I'm like, well, number one, the biggest takeaway I had from that game is, my gosh, what a dumpster fire Tampa Bay
Yeah, they
is
are.
right now.
Has become.
Good.
Yeah.
I mean,
I thought
They had
guys
aspirations.
I mean, I don't think it's stretching it. I mean, that was thug play.
Yeah.
And that's a coach that looks like he's lost a team.
Yep.
He does look. They look lost.
He has lost. He has totally lost the
Yeah,
team.
yeah. You saw some of the faces of the Bucks on the sideline. Yeah.
Yeah.
When it was over.
And when they had that scuffle, I never saw the expression on his face.
Didn't change. Didn't change.
But my point is, I wasn't blown away by the way the Saints played, and yet they won 30-10.
I don't know,
but
Scooter.
that's a good thing.
Alvin Kamara.
I do.
He's a wild guy. He is a wild kind of weapon. Yeah, I like what some of the receivers are doing, and finally Fleener gets a big play. The combination of Ingram and Kamara, they seem to like each other. They're complimenting each other.
Yeah.
Let's face it, do you have to be great in the NFC right now?
Well,
is there a great NFC
You know,
team?
with all of
Maybe.
Atlanta's talent, I can't believe they're 4-4. And do they have a spurt in them? I don't know.
28-3. You were 28-3, and they're still living that down.
Yeah.
You can't live that
Kamara,
down.
though, I mean, he does. He gives them that. The guy that lost
Darren
to the
Sproles.
Eagles.
Sproles.
Sproles. He gives them that Sproles angle
Yeah.
again.
Yeah,
That is-
they've got some weapons. I don't know how far they can go in the playoffs. I don't know if they can beat Carolina in the end. I don't know what the back end of their schedule looks like.
Buffalo's next on the road. Tough game.
Yeah, you start getting some road games.
Tough game.
But they are playing better. Their defense is playing better.
Yeah.
I think they're better off without Adrian Peterson, obviously.
Yes.
Well,
And he's
then
better off
indeed.
without them.
That worked out for both.
Yeah.
And I don't blame either one.
No.
They didn't know how good Kamara was going to be, and they took Peterson.
And they knew they weren't. And
And I
once
don't
they
think
realized they were going to use him.
Peterson with all credit to him, as good as he is, I don't think his style really was going to fit.
Never fit.
He needs the ball. He needs the ball 25, 28 times.
So I mean, it worked out. He got to go to the Cardinals.
Yeah. Especially with Arizona without Carson Palmer. They got to go somewhere.
That was the best move for everybody.
But I mean, we're talking about all this. We're missing the point. The difference in the Saints is defense.
Yeah.
Yes. No doubt.
I mean, for the last 4 or 5 years, really since the Super Bowl.
No doubt.
Year, we've wondered, what would the Saints do with a decent defense?
And they're decent.
And I mean, they're
and getting better.
I think, they played some bad offense the
teams.
last few weeks. But, I mean, their defense has been dominant in those games.
We'll see as this schedule comes along. They got the LA Rams coming up, and they got the Falcons coming down the line. All right.
I missed that memo. When did the Rams get good?
Well, they
I
got
just
good.
noticed
His
it.
coach.
All right, did we all look?
He's a young guy that can work with quarterbacks.
Yeah, Sean
Always worked
McVay.
well with quarterbacks.
Sean Payton goes nuts. I mean, pointing to something.
Well,
Either he was pointing at Jameis Winston or Evans or the coach or anybody.
He's pointing at their whole bench.
Oh my
That's
gosh!
not the first time
Yeah.
Peyton has done that.
And I liked it.
He's always been feisty.
I liked it.
But he
that guy was hit wrongly and no ejection, I think it really got the Saints motivated on the side, even ejection or not.
Well, the game was
over by then.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The ripple effect of it. The ripple effect, guys.
I mean, the fact that the game was over, if I'm Peyton, I would have been tempted to get like a breeze out of there.
A little surprised.
Because that was looking like thug ball for the
once
rest
the Buccaneer
of the way.
guy
Got hurt.
That
yeah.
changed.
It did.
Well, yeah, that
settled everybody
changed the
down.
tone.
You're
that
right.
changed everything.
Another serious injury in the Superdome from that. Quick jump to the NFL. You mentioned it earlier about the Rams. Mid-season coach of the year. It's got to be McVay.
Doug Peterson.
I put them head to head. Yeah, with the Eagles. Yeah. And who is the MVP right now? 8 games in, midway. Carson Wentz from North Dakota State? Or is it Tom Brady?
Jared Goff.
Who?
Jared Goff.
Oh my! Now you're okay. Now you're stretching it. Now.
He had 5 touchdowns the other day.
Oh my God! Anyway,
We're worrying about the wrong thing.
the Rams and what they have done, and the Eagles. All right, I'm just wondering where the power is, and it is all right. You've got the
New England.
They quietly keep winning. It's going to be interesting. All right, Heisman race a little bit later on the show. What?
You say that. I don't think that New England looks as dominant this year.
No,
as
of course
they
not.
have in some past years. They've had some bumps.
You win.
For until 3 weeks ago, you would say the Chiefs.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
I still like the Chiefs.
I do too.
You
I
keep
like
winning.
that
though.
team.
You keep winning, though. You just got to keep winning,
And
okay?
you gotta
Maybe
stay
get home
healthy.
field.
You
Keep
got to
winning.
stay healthy.
All right, taking a break. All right, when we come back, the Houston Astros. History, record-setting. The Houston Astros. It is, in one sentence, wins the World Series. We're coming back in 2. Stay right there.
Jack Daniels Bar and Grill at LaBerge Casino Resort, home of soundoff60. Round 5 with the boys coming up.
The 2018 Toyota Camry is here, and it is a remarkable product. So remarkable, in fact, we're going to do something a little different with this commercial. We're just going to spend the rest of this 30 seconds showing you this car. So if you're one of those people that's always said, yeah, the Camry's not really the car for me, you might be exactly who this car is for. Come see it today at Lake Charles Toyota.
Nuts, you know.
All right, welcome back to Jack Daniels at LaBerge Casino, November 25th. Do not forget, holiday concert at the Special Events Center. Martina McBride getting ready for the holidays. Great concert coming up here at LaBerge Casino. Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk it? The Houston Astros, 7-game series against the mighty LA Dodgers and the Astros, mighty themselves. Two of the best teams and of the best, the two top teams, and fight it out. What a great series.
I don't think it was any
Great
doubt
series.
that was the two best teams this year. And forget celebrating the Astros. That was a great World Series. Game 7, if you didn't,
bit of a letdown.
other than the Astros, Game 7 was kind of blah.
Yeah. Did what they had to do to win it.
I mean, let's face it, they had a tough act to follow after those
2
first
years
6 games.
And after last year's Game 7.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, last year
With
had
the
the
Cubs
great
and the
games.
Indians.
Yeah.
But
baseball's never been hotter right now.
baseball has got to jump on this.
Yes. Without question, they have the opportunity to market themselves as, with NFL's problems, as the #1 sport.
Yeah.
All right, I got to fess
Go ahead.
up here. I'm not an Astro fan. I'm a lifelong Cardinal fan. I've enjoyed picking at my Astro buddies over the years. The Astros were in the World Series one other time, and I could care less. I poo-pah. I enjoyed this team. I got
Who wouldn't?
behind this.
I enjoyed
This
the
was
last
a
one better, but
This was a. Well, that was
the
the
White
White
Sox,
Sox.
yeah.
He's a White Sox guy.
I'm the only one in the world.
This
bro.
was
You might be.
really. This was a charismatic team.
Yeah.
Yeah, young.
If if they can somehow keep the core of this team together,
Well, that's the question.
I mean,
that's the
the
financial question.
Altuve and Bregman, of course, and speaking of
Springer.
Bregman, we've had him on our show. He may be too big a star for us now. We'll see.
You got Correa.
But they really were a fun group to watch.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, it was easy for me to put aside my Cardinal leanings and join some of my Astro buddies.
From the Dodgers standpoint, and again, for a guy who doesn't follow Major League Baseball day in and day out, kind of what you read and what you know of Clayton Kershaw and Hugh Darvish, that was almost shocking. Shocking.
Well, the Darvish isn't, if you've looked at the last couple of years on how Houston hit him. Houston's hit him the last couple of years.
Yeah.
When he's with Texas. Kershaw.
But they didn't get 4 innings out of
No, they
him.
didn't get
2
anything out of him.
starts.
Kershaw had a great game 1. He won 7 innings, 1 run.
All right.
But he blew the 4-run lead in Game 5. He blew the 3-run lead in Game 5. Back-to-back innings.
Yeah.
Clayton Kershaw shouldn't do that if he wants to be the best pitcher in baseball.
And everybody keeps saying he's the best pitcher in the
He
last
is
10
the
years.
way-
I quit
He's tough.
trying. You think you know baseball, at least I think I do. I don't know it as well as major league managers. I assume. But I gave up trying to figure out what the Dodgers were doing with their bullpen the entire series.
Well, they believe that Dodgers are the quintessential analytic team.
Yes.
They believe in you do not face a lineup a third time. And numbers will tell you that. Now,
That's getting too analytical.
it is. And
What
it
if
cost them.
what if the Cardinals had told Bob Gibson
Well,
that
that's the
one
thing.
day?
Well, that's the thing. And it ended up costing them because they blew out their bullpen for Game 5.
Right.
And that's what cost them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they needed the day off to rest.
Yeah.
So at the end, you have to have a mix. But the Astros may have found the formula of double starters going in games. A 4-guy and a 5-guy going 4 innings and 5 innings like they did twice.
Yeah.
That might be the new way to go.
Yeah.
And protect the arms.
Well,
But the Astros are an interesting thing because they are the first team in baseball history that I know of that tanked. Purposely tanked for 3 years, lost 100 games.
Yeah.
To get all this. And they hit on every draft pick but one.
yeah. No, that's, what was it, Mark Appel?
Mark Appel instead of Chris Bryant.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. But that happens.
It does.
But boy, they hit on a lot, didn't they?
Took,
They hit on everything
else.
took,
Holy smokes.
They took one of those kind of Moneyball on steroids approach. And,
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Moneyball's a lot
I
better
think
when
that's getting-
Verlander's throwing game
Yeah,
2 and 6.
You're right about that. All right, let's
that
shift.
had nothing to do with
Shift
getting
gears to
in.
high school playoffs, guys. We got a boatload of regional teams, as expected. Pretty much everybody gets to go to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Parkway at Barb coming up this weekend. Live Oak, number 22, ranked against number 11, Sulphur. Washington Marion in postseason play. Yes, they're seeded 24. We're going to be at number 9, Laranja. Westlake on the road at Gina. Bogalusa at number 10, Jennings. So they have a home game. Number 2, Iowa. All right. Undefeated is going to be hosting number 31, Wassman, and
You know my
Welsh.
feeling.
Welsh, I didn't. top ranked, number one seed,
Yeah. Okay,
number one
and-
seed
and that's
in
fine.
2A. Welsh
You know
is going to
my
be at home
thoughts
against
on
Springfield.
The first round of the playoffs. I don't even think of them as the playoffs.
What do you think of them, man?
This is just an extra week of the season to scatter the ones that don't belong in the playoffs.
And then
because of the LHSA
right.
stupidity.
And we filter to the top. I got you. Local fans will have a lot of fun. St. Louis in the, what do you call it? The private, still call it private. Private is going to be on the road. What's that? Select. I'm sorry. There we go. All right, they're going to be on the road. St. Louis is in postseason play. All right, Stump the Wise Guys is coming up next, and we might have one or two other things when we wrap it up. Coming back to Jack Daniels. Stay right here.
Sound Off 60 is brought to you by our friends at Jack Daniels Bar and Grill at L'Auberge Casino Resort. Sound Off 60 24/7 online at soundoff60tv.com.
The 2018 Toyota Camry is here, and it is a remarkable product. So remarkable, in fact, we're going to do something a little different with this commercial. We're just going to spend the rest of this 30 seconds showing you this car. So if you're one of those people that's always said, yeah, the Camry's not really the car for me, you might be exactly who this car is for. Come see it today at Lake Charles Toyota.
For more taste, less calories, and half the carbs, there's only one light beer to grab. Miller Lite. Hold true.
On or off the field, training and experience matter. As a board-certified and fellowship-trained surgeon, Dr. Brett Cassio has the training and experience to help you get back in the game. Award-winning research, the latest orthopedic techniques, right here at home. Cassio Sports Medicine.
Only one light beer has more taste, less calories, and half the carbs. This one. Miller Lite. Hold true.
All right, welcome back to Jack Daniels. The lovely Nikki here. She's our queen of Stump the Wise Guys. The bell is ready, gentlemen, and I think we are ready. Nikki, take it away.
All right. Name the top 3 winningest head coaches in NFL history, most career victories.
Don Shula is one.
I would say Tom Landry is in there. You got to figure old coach for a long time.
George
George Halas.
Okay, is that what we got?
3?
We got it?
Yep.
Oh,
Excellent. Excellent. All right.
teamwork.
That was kind of tricky there. Because you got to think about a 16-game schedule in the later years of the game versus 10 and 12.
But like
George
Halas
Halas
was there 50 years.
Yeah, good point. They coached for
And,
50 years. Yeah.
Nobody was going to fire him.
That's
He owned
exactly
the
right.
team.
There you go. All right, Nikki, here we go.
All right. Who are the top 3 most winningest quarterbacks in NFL history?
All right, that's, again, 16-game schedule versus the old school guys. I'm going to go Peyton,
Brady.
because he's been playing 17.
Favre.
Favre.
Yeah.
Correct.
We're on a roll,
Yeah.
guys. Gazzola, you here without Guidry. You're the
Much
G-man.
as it pained the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, good point.
That's who they
The
were all
sports
against.
senator is helping us here. Okay,
That's who they were all against.
we're rolling.
Name the 3 winningest head coaches in football, college football history.
Oh.
Oh, no, wait a minute.
Oh.
Bear. Bobby
Paterno.
We're gonna go
Eddie
Robinson.
Eddie
Eddie
Robinson's got-
Robinson.
Eddie Robinson, Paterno, and Bowden.
Oh, yeah, Bowden passed Bear. I
Bear.
think.
Or are we gonna go Bear Bryant and not Eddie Robinson?
Are we not?
Are we gonna go with some
Wait
guy
a minute.
from
Are we?
Minnesota that
I've
had the
seen
500?
60-minute ESPN specials on those Division II guys.
I know.
That's college football. So is there somebody out there like, what is it? Union College, Mount Union in
That's
Minnesota.
the guy in St. John's, Minnesota.
I don't know. All right, we're going to go.
I would go.
Where you want to go?
Bowden, Paterno, and Bear.
All right, Bowden, Paterno, and Eddie Robinson. No?
Paterno, Eddie Robinson, and then John.
There he is.
Oh, the no.
Yes.
Okay.
Gagliano.
Division 2, Division 3 guy.
Gagliano, St. John's.
Okay.
That's not a
Probably
fair
been coaching for
question.
60 years, probably.
Not a fair
Okay.
question.
A half
Oh,
stump.
we were on it though. We were on it. It was
You're on it. Okay.
All right, and what, you guessed it, name the 3 winningest college football quarterbacks.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Peyton, who started 4 years. Did he start 4 years?
Yeah, but
They weren't that great out of 4 years. Didn't he win the title?
yeah,
until
but
he was gone?
he was a
4-year
There
starter.
hadn't been a whole lot of 4-year starters, and they were always good. Maybe
Yeah, they
not.
were always
They
good.
never won the championship. It couldn't be
Archie?
Florida.
Archie? Archie?
Minor?
No. Manning. Archie
No, he
Manning.
only played 3 years.
Oh.
Because freshmen couldn't play.
That's right, that's
then.
right, that's right. All right.
So it would have to be.
Wow. I'm throwing
think
Manning out
about
there.
it,
Beyond that, I don't know.
Peyton Manning. I'm going to say Peyton because it was a 4-year starter. Oh, wow.
You gonna go with somebody from it?
Joe Montana?
No, Montana
No?
started only 1 year.
Oh, gosh. I'm striking out here.
Rusty Lish got more wins than Joe Montana at Notre Dame.
A UCLA
It
guy?
wasn't your
It wasn't,
man Crush Brady. He
No,
only
no,
started
not at all.
1 year.
All right, well,
Yeah.
we're going to be stumped because we're running out of time.
Matt
Helpless.
Leinart.
Helpless.
All right, Kellen Moore,
Kellen
BYU
Moore.
or Boise.
Colt
Boise?
McCoy,
Colt McCoy.
and David
McCoy.
Green.
And who?
David
Green.
Green
I have no
from
idea where
Georgia?
David Green
Yeah,
came
he
from.
was a 4-year starter. He was.
Oh, that's right. That's the guy that we thought was there for like 10
Georgia.
years
Yeah,
because he's a
that's
4 year.
correct.
All right.
Oh,
well,
David
we
Green.
were
Oh,
officially
wow.
stumped on that one. We
Yeah,
were
well,
hang with us.
that-
Hang with
that
us.
one came out of left
What,
field.
well, who is it? Kalen who?
Kalen Moore. He's now
from-
on the Cowboys, Dallas.
Dallas. And he played
Boise
for Boise
State.
State?
Yeah.
Okay. They won a ton of games. That was under Peterson,
Yes,
right?
Yes, they did.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You want to win a great?
Go ahead quickly.
It's always been,
all?
Peyton Manning never won in Gainesville.
Yeah.
That is not true.
Okay.
He won a game.
Did he?
In Gainesville.
What?
The whatever year Gator Bowl, it was when they were renovating it for the Jaguars.
Right.
They played the Gator Bowl in Gainesville.
And he won it.
and the Tennessee won it.
You just gave everybody who argues sports in bars something to go on that one.
Yes.
All right, quickly, help me. What does Ed Orgeron do with Miles Brennan? Why does he put him in the game? I disagree with you. LSU was still in it with a 2 score. Why do you do that? Why do you do that?
Wants to
Come
see what
on.
he can do.
Well,
What?
I don't know.
What?
I don't
How much
think
time
they
do we
were
have?
throwing in the towel. I didn't think. He intimated that they didn't like some things the last 2 series, I guess, that Etling had done. I'm not totally
Okay.
disagreeing with you.
All right.
I mean, like I said, he guaranteed what the first question was.
Good,
It is
good.
press lunch
I don't get
today.
it. I don't get it. We're running out of time,
I
but
think it's harmless.
CFP poll this week, this is Sarah's pick. Georgia, Alabama, Clemson, Notre Dame. You like it or not?
Notre Dame over Clemson.
Oh, really? That's the only thing? Alabama, you think Alabama?
Yeah, I would say Notre Dame over Clemson.
Really?
Too.
I like Clemson.
Alabama,
All right.
Georgia.
No, you
Well,
like
they
it?
both
All right.
they both played North Carolina State. Notre Dame beat them worse.
There you go.
That's the
Irish,
difference.
looking tough. Nikki, we appreciate it. Thank you as always. Jim, thank you as always. Kevin Guidry may be off IR. If not, you're going to come back from the bullpen. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll do it all again next time.
Soundoff 60 airs on Suddenlink Cable Channel 4 Monday through Sunday nights at 9 and again Saturday and Sunday mornings at 10. Soundoff 60 also airs throughout Southwest Louisiana on Vive Broadband Channel 6 at 9 p.m. Check your local listings. Post your questions and comments for the guys and access our website and our great advertising partners at soundoff60tv.com.